Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad. And what we got right here is the Air Doctor 3500i. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, get it all set up, tell you everything you need to know about it, see if it might be something you need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this thing up, it's going to come to you in a box just like this. Let's get her opened up, see what we're working with. And here's what your Air Doctor is going to look like right out of the box. It's also going to come with your overall instruction manual. Very detailed, telling you everything you need to know about using and operating this. On top of that, they're going to give you several quick start guides, including the Wi-Fi quick start guide, regular quick start guide, a little thank you card, and then a mobile app instruction sheet as well. So the first thing we got to do is go ahead and get our filters ready to get this thing turned on. And they do make this dummy proof, putting a nice little warning sticker right here on the top saying, hey, don't start this thing until you take these filters out of their plastic bags. Now, one of the things that makes this the granddaddy of air filters is the fact that it comes with a 3-stage filtration system, starting right here with our pre-filter. Now, this is going to remove larger contaminants like dust and animal hair. Then we move on down to our carbon, gas, and VOC filter. This is going to help remove gas, odors, and volatile organic compounds from cooking, cleaners, hairspray, and more. And then we move down here to our ultra HEPA, not just regular HEPA filter. And this is going to remove ultra-fine contaminants like dust, pollen, mold spores, smoke, pet dander, and bacteria. And the ultra HEPA can capture particles all the way down to 0.003 microns, which is going to be 100 times smaller than your standard HEPA filter. So let's go ahead and get these things installed, starting right here with our ultra HEPA filter. Go ahead and slide that in first. It does have these nice little tags, so it does make it easily removable. Then the next thing we're going to do is attach our pre-filter to our VOC filter. And as you'll notice on here, this just has some nice Velcro to keep this thing strapped on. This will be on the outside, obviously. Slide that in. And then we'll put our cover back on. And we're good to go. Now, before we plug this thing in and go through the operation, I want to give you 3 reasons why I was so excited to get this thing picked up and start using it in our house. Number 1, the American Lung Association says that indoor air can be 2 to 5 times, even up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air. Now, Americans spend 90% of their times indoors, so you want to be breathing the freshest and cleanest air possible. And the second reason I was excited to get this is because we've got some pets. They like to be indoors about 80% of the time. And when you got pets, you're going to have a lot of fur flying around your house. And the third reason why this is such a valuable pickup for both me and my family is the fact that I've had asthma since I was a kid. And if there's anything that I can do to help reduce the symptoms or so I don't have to use this inhaler as much, I'm all for it. So let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in. Check out how it works. Now, to operate this thing on the unit, you're going to see you have several different buttons right here, as well as some notifications. Our first button here is going to be our power button. Once we hit that, you'll see the lights come on blue, as well as this little notification circle there on the front. Now, our next button here is going to be our speed setting, and we can go ahead and click that. 1 is going to be our lowest, all the way up to our fastest setting right here. Now, our third button here is going to be our auto feature, and this is what I'm going to be using this thing on pretty much about 99% of the time. With the auto feature, it actually has a sensor on the side to sense the current air quality in your house. Now, if this shows blue up here in the display, that means you got good air quality. This thing's going to run on low. This thing turns to yellow, that means moderate to medium air quality. It's going to run a little faster. And if this thing turns to red, that means you got poor air quality in the house right now. This thing's going to run at max speed to get it all cleaned up. Now, our next button is going to be the dim function right here. And as you can see, you've got this little light on the front as well as your notifications here. If you hit the dim, that's going to turn all those lights off. And this is great if you're using this in a bedroom or someplace you don't want any light. Now, next up, we've got our timer function right here. If we hit that timer, you'll see over here, it'll notify you of how long you can run this, starting from 1 hour all the way up to 24 and back off. And our final button right here is the ion button, and that's going to kick in the built-in ionizer on the Air Doctor unit. And last, we have a couple of notifications over here, including our Wi-Fi once we get that connected, as well as our filter replacement over here. Once one of these turns on, that means you should look at replacing your filter. And once you do replace the filter, you can reset that notification by holding down the auto and the dim function over here. Now, as far as filter life, you should be able to get about a year out of your Ultra HEPA filter and about 6 months out of your gas trap VOC pre-filter. Now, you can also extend this a little bit by vacuuming these things out every once in a while, but when it does come time to replace them, AirDoctor does sell a 1-year combo pack that's going to include one of the Ultra HEPA filters as well as 2 of the carbon gas VOC filters as well. Now, one of the coolest features about this unit is the fact that it's got this built-in ionizer right here. And basically, an ionizer helps by revitalizing the air by infusing it with negative ions. The negative ions will attach to particles, which gives the particles an electrical charge, causing them to clump together and allowing them to be more easily captured by the AirDoctor. Now, this is a completely optional feature, as some people like it, some people could care less. Now again, there's going to be 2 versions of this. You've got the regular 3500, which will control everything right up here on the top of this, or you've got the 3500i, which is going to be connectable to the internet and come with an app. Now, they do give you this nice little quick start guide here to get this connected, as well as get your app downloaded too. So we've got our AirDoctor app all downloaded. We're going to go ahead and open it up, and we're going to add a new device. And once we click that, it'll tell us to hold our Wi-Fi button down for 3 seconds until we hear a little beep. There is our AirDoctor device. We'll select that. Now we're going to go ahead and select our Wi-Fi network we're going to connect this to. So there's a lot of things we can do with our app here. At the top, it's going to give you area information, including things like temperature, humidity, pollen count, and AQI. And then we can go down and select our unit right here. And that's going to give us a graph on our daily or weekly particle count, as well as we can control the unit from here as well, turning on and off the power, the fan speed, dim, timer, the ionizer, and more. Another thing you'll see down here at the bottom is it's going to tell us our filter life. So we go back to the bottom of this. If we go over to the right, you'll have my account, a bunch of other information. Then there's this boost function right here where, let's say you wanted to boost the unit every day around dinner time. You can set up like a dinner time boost, set the time you want it to happen, set it for which days, and repeat it as well. Kind of a nice little feature. Over here, we'll have our AirDoctor store where we can look at other units as well as buy replacement filters. And that brings us back to our home page there. Now, the only difference between the i versions of these AirDoctors and the regular versions of the AirDoctors is that the i versions are going to connect to the internet and they can be controlled using an app. So if you're one of those people that want to be able to control your unit from your phone anytime, any place, and you also want updates and graphs on how the unit's doing, go with the i version. If that stuff doesn't really matter to you, go with the regular version. Now, when it comes to how loud the AirDoctor actually is, we've got it set on the lowest speed right here. And as you can hear, it's just a nice light little hum that you won't even notice. Now let's go ahead and turn it up to the top speed. Now this is definitely quite a bit louder, but obviously you're not going to be running it on this speed for very long periods of time. Now, when it comes to choosing the right size for your home, we were happy to go with the AirDoctor 3500 because of our open floor plan both upstairs and downstairs. And this thing can service up to 2,500 square feet. Now, if you're looking for something even larger, they do offer the AirDoctor 5500 that will service 4,172 square feet, or a smaller option would be the AirDoctor 2000, which services up to 1,220 square feet. So if you're using this thing in an area that is about 2,500 square feet, it's going to circulate the air once an hour. If you're using it in a place that's 1,200 square feet, it would circulate the air twice an hour. Or if you're in a smaller room, let's say 630 square feet, it's going to circulate the air up to 4 times an hour. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the AirDoctor 3500i. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1, I love the fact that this thing features not 1, not 2, but 3 filters, with the main one being that Ultra HEPA filter that's going to pick so much more up than your standard HEPA filter. Number 2, this thing was super easy to get set up and going straight out of the box, and it only took us a couple minutes to do so. And number 3, if you're somebody that's got indoor animals like we do, or respiratory problems like asthma like I do, then this thing is definitely just a must-have. I've seen the before and after pictures of these filters, and it's just kind of crazy of how many bad things are floating around your air, no matter how clean that you think you keep your house. And it's for those reasons and more, I'm easily going to give this thing a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you one. Hey, one more thing before you go. I want to let you know that the Air Doctor company is a big fan of the world's greatest dad's in-depth and informational videos. Therefore, about a month ago, they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this product for video review purposes. Now, with that being said, all the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video were my own, and I always do my best to accurately describe any product I review. Now, I hope this video helped you out. We'll see you next time.